guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys have been well, and I hope that you've been looking forward to a makeup tutorial because here it is. So today I wanted to combine a couple of things that you guys asked for. First things first, a fall makeup tutorial, or a fall winter makeup tutorial anyway. The next thing was a strobing tutorial. A lot of you guys asked for a more detailed one after the first one that I posted. And of course, because my wedding is coming up in a couple of weeks time, I thought I'd do a bridal makeup tutorial as well. So I've combined all of this into just one makeup tutorial. I hope that you guys enjoy it. It's definitely the kind of makeup look that I personally would go for if my country had a season and if I was getting married in the fall, which would be absolutely amazing, a dream come true. But no, I'm getting married in Malaysia where it's perpetually summer. Anyway, let us get on with this makeup tutorial. I hope that you guys enjoy it. So the first thing that I want to do is, of course, prime the skin to make sure that everything stays for the longest time possible. I'm going in with my Hourglass Mineral Primer. I'm just taking a pump out, and I'm just going to apply it all over the skin. And I'm going to go under the eyes as well, and that's just going to help us prevent those settling into the crease lines. So for this look, instead of going for a more high-end foundation, I chose to go for a medium to low-cost foundation. This is from Vanilla Co. It's quite matte, so it's not that kind of luminous foundation, but I figure you can go and add in that luminosity when you're doing your highlight. So I'm going to stick with a more matte foundation. This also gives you the most amazing coverage, which is why I like it so much. Now before I finish off the skin, I'm going to start on my brows. I want to get a more perfect brow. So the first thing I'm going to do is go in with this Urban Decay pencil. This is their brow beater pencil. And the reason why I want to use this one is because it's got a really small and thin nib. So it's going to help me kind of precision line my brows. It's just going to help you map out your brow shape perfectly. Alright, so once I've got that shape mapped out, I'm going to go ahead and fill it in with my Innisfree brow pencil. Sorry guys, I had my white balance setting to the wrong setting, but this one is kind of better, I guess. I'm going to move on to the highlighting and concealing now. Or rather just concealing really. I'm going in with my Shiseido Sheer Eye Zone Corrector. Now it's much better to use one of these more light liquidy products when it comes to concealing the face, just because it's going to give you a much more natural finish and it's not going to sink into the fine lines on your skin. If you are a really young bride with no wrinkles underneath your eyes, then well, I'm really jealous. And I kind of hate you a little bit. Not really, but a little bit. And the key to preventing those concealers, whatever you're using from sinking into your creases underneath your eyes, make sure not to put too much. So get a product that is more light reflecting so you don't have to use too much, and a product that is pretty pigmented as well. For the rest of the skin, I'm going to go in with my favorite and kind of beaten up Kathy Kat concealer. This is their Super Cover Sealer, and they do still sell this, by the way, guys. Someone told me they were discontinued. I think they do still sell it because I see it all the time on Yes Style. So I'm just going to dab that concealer onto the areas where I feel I need a little bit more coverage, which is not very much actually, because that foundation really did cover up most of the imperfections on my skin. And then to set everything, I have this Innisfree No Sebum Blur Packed. This is going to blur out the imperfections, absorb the excess oil on the skin, and just give you a more perfect look overall. And you can actually bring this along with you, so whenever you need touch-ups, you can just do that on the go. Sorry guys, I'm working with an entirely new setup today, and that's why I keep making these lighting and video mistakes. I really hope that you guys forgive me. But yes, I have just kind of changed up the lighting a bit, just so you can see what's going on here. As you can see, the contour is very much more subtle. It's not too obvious. All I want to do is just kind of glow, bronze up the skin a little bit. Alright, now that that's done, I'm going to leave the skin alone for a while and move on to the eyes, and then I'll come back to that later. Okay guys, so obviously I'm going to set down a base for the eyes. I'm going to go in with my MAC Paint Pot. This is in the color Painterly. And I'm just going to pat that product all over the lid, taking it all the way into the brow. All the way up to the brow, sorry. Taking it underneath the eyes as well. Now guys, I'm going to go in with my Tarte palette, and this is from last year's Christmas collection if I'm not mistaken. And I'm taking this color over here with this, which is just a nice bone colored eyeshadow on a Real Technique setting brush. And I'm just going to buff that color all over the lid. Next, I'm just going to go in with the color below it, which is a nice kind of medium brown, and I'm just going to run that into the crease. This doesn't have much color either. I'm just going to do this to add a tiny bit of dimension and just help to layer those eyeshadows on. Next, I'm going to do a soft cut crease. I'm going to go with this color right in the middle of the palette over here on a Louise Young LY38A brush. I'm just going to cut into that area above my lids when my eyes are open. And as you can see, I'm just going to stop right outside the eye over here, and I'm taking a 217 MAC brush just to blend that out. Okay, now for the rest of the makeup, the first thing I'm going to be doing is going in with a different, more texturizing base. This is the Dior Mono eyeshadow in the color Chimere. It's just a lovely peachy gold color, and I'm tapping that all over the lid. And now that I've packed on enough color over there, I'm going to go in with a Dior palette. This is a brand new one from their holiday collection. It is called Eternal Gold. I'm going to go in with the light gold color over here in the palette, and I'm just going to use my finger to pat that onto my lid. And you don't have to take it too far out because we're going to be putting another color over there. I'm also going to use this color right in the middle here. It's more of a kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It's a light gold. And I'm going to put it in the inner corners. Oh, this is such a nice color. Okay, I'm going to go back in with my MAC 217, and I'm going to be picking up this dark brown color here in the palette, and I'm just going to apply that to the outer half of the eye, or the outer quarter of the eye really. Just going to wing it out in the same shape as my cut crease. And really just take your time to layer on that color, pack it on, and then blend it into the middle. And then as a final touch, I'm going to go in with my Tarte palette, and I'm going to pick up this beautiful rich chocolate brown color on a Zoeva Luxe Petite crease brush. This is a little bit more dense and smaller in its distribution, which is why I want to use it to kind of map out a darker wing at the very outermost corners of the eye. This is just going to accent our whole kind of neutral, slightly smoky eye. Is this slightly smoky, or is it just all out smoky? I don't know. The next thing I'm going to be doing is applying my eyeliner, and then my false eyelashes. I'm going in with my Ink Graphy brush pen liner from the Face Shop. And of course, I think one of the most popular and most flattering eyeliner shapes is the cat eye, and that's what I'm going to be doing. This is really going to help to lift the eye. And then to fill in the gaps in between my lash line, I'm going to go in with a Etude House Play 101 pencil, and this is just in the plain black color without the glitter. I'm also lining the waterline with this, by the way, the upper waterline. Alright, so I colored my eyelashes and applied some false eyelashes. These are the House of Lashes Iconics. I think that they're absolutely gorgeous. And now that I'm waiting for the glue to dry, I'm going to kind of take stock of what's been going on my eye and add on any eyeshadow in shapes that I see fit. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a slightly warmer toned brown. This is from the Estee Lauder Bronze Sands palette. Now this is a pretty old palette, but they do a lot of these palettes very, very often, so you're going to be able to find this color at Estee Lauder counters. I'm just going to pick it up with a random no-name brush, and I'm applying that from almost the center of the lid, taking it outwards. And you can see how that color really just darkens up the eye. And if I pack on a little bit more, it's going to warm up the eye as well. So just applying that and blending that out in a larger shape on the eye. Now that I've got those false eyelashes on, when I look up, you're not going to be able to see much. So I'm just extending that eyeshadow. And then I'm also taking a little bit of this gold right here, the very warm toned one, on my finger and tapping it into the center of the lids. Next, for the lower lash line, I'm going to go in with that really nice chocolatey brown color in the Tarte palette, and I'm going to pick it up on a brushless brush. This is just a nice small pencil brush, and I'm going to apply it onto the lower lash line, taking about 3/4 of the way in. Next, to open up the eyes a little bit, I'm going to go in with my Rimmel pencil. This is a Scandalized Waterproof Kohl Kajal in the color Nude. And I'm just going to take that into the waterline on the lower lash line. And of course, I also want to go back over that eyeliner that we placed, thicken it up, and cover our lash band. I'm going to clean up the brows a little bit now, and I'm going to go back in with the same concealer pen that I used earlier. This has a brush attached to it, so we don't have to use an extra brush. So all we want to do is just go around the edges of our brow line. Smooth everything out. And then as a final touch for the brows, I'm going to go in with this Shomura eyebrow manicure. I'm going to move on to one of my favorite parts, and one that has been requested by you guys a lot as well, and that is the strobing technique. Now, of course, Asian strobing and Western strobing, they aren't really a concept, but it's pretty obvious that Asian features are a lot more flat than Western features, and in most cases that's not so good. But in the case of strobing, it is absolutely amazing because the flat planes on an Asian face really catch the light a lot better than the angular faces of Westerners. And I'm talking really generally here. Of course, everybody has different features, and the different features catch light in different ways. Overall, no hate for any feature at all. I'm just saying, if you have a slightly flatter set of features, or a flatter face really, I am going to show you guys how to catch the light in the most amazing way possible. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is go in with a liquid highlighting product. This is the Rouge Bunny Rouge highlighter in the color Sea of Tranquility. Now, this is really great for more fair skin tones. If you got a slightly warmer, slightly darker skin tone, the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the color Opal is absolute magic. Now, this one is a travel size, which is why it comes in a tube. The other one comes in a pump bottle. Anyway, I'm going to go in with the Rouge Bunny Rouge one first. I'm just going to take a pump out onto the back of my hand. I'm just going to use my damp beauty blender for this. I'm going to pick it up with the pointy part of my beauty blender, and I'm just going to like tap most of it off onto the back of my hand, just so I don't put too much product on there. And then I'm going to tap it onto the area of my face that catches the light the most. Now, on different faces, the light is going to catch your high planes of the face in different areas. On more flat Asian features, you really want to place that highlight all the way down from your temples right down to your apples of your cheeks. So just take that product and really just keep tapping that in on the highest points of that cheek area. So just this entire area right here. You want to take it up a little bit onto the temples as well. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of highlight down the center of my nose. And then I'm using the tiniest bit on my chin and just in my cupid's bow here. And then taking a bit just on these two planes of the face right here. If you've got anything left over, these are the areas you want to focus on. Okay, so that is the liquid strobing done. Now we're going to move on to the powder version, and this is going to set our liquid as well as increase the intensity of that. I'm going to go in with my favorite and strongest highlight. This is the Balm's Mary Luminizer. It's a very, very strong highlight, but that's something that I personally prefer on my wedding day. I'm going to be applying it on the tops of my cheekbones and anywhere else that I placed that liquid highlight earlier. And you'll notice that what I'm doing is putting a very strong highlight just down this line right here. And then I'm also going around the sides and just diffusing it a little bit. Now for the nose, I'm just going to go in with my finger because I want a more concentrated highlight there. I want to highlight this area right here because I want it lifted a little bit. And a lot of Asians are going to want that as well because most of our noses aren't the sharpest. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a highlight at the tip of the nose just to lift it a bit as well. And then I'm going to go in with a tiny bit just on the cupid's bow and the chin. Finally, finishing off with a tiny bit here, and highlights on the inner corners of the eyes really just help to open those eyes up and give you such a beautiful glow, so definitely do that. And that is the strobing done, guys. Now I'm going to top it off with a pop of color on the center of the cheeks, just because that's going to help bring a little bit more color to the face, a bit of a blushing bride kind of look. I'm going to go in with the Rouge by Rouge, what is this? Original Skin Blush in Gracilis. Just gonna kind of tap it onto the center of the cheeks here. And as a final touch, I'm gonna go in with the lips. This is a Hot Makeup liquid lipstick in the color Midnight. I figure since this is a fall makeup look, I should do a bit of a darker color. And then we're gonna go in and do a bit of correction around the lips. And that, guys, is my finished fall bridal makeup tutorial. I hope that you guys liked it. As a final touch for the lips, I did add on this Urban Decay lip gloss. This is the color Brick House. I thought it would bring a really nice red to the look, just to make it a little bit less vampy. I hope that you guys like this look. If you have any questions about the look at all, of course, leave them in the comments box below and I will get to them as soon as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video and you would like to see more of me, please subscribe to me on YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook. They are all listed in the description box below. Again, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you in my next one. Bye!